loving it.
He's gonna make him mad. Finley on
Worldwide.
offense. Wait a minute.
Boston, PD5, Big Nick, got you niggas here. You niggas don't want me to shine, you niggas don't want me to grind. I'm about my money, nigga. You niggas don't want me to live, you niggas just want me to beg. Up in the prison system, niggas know I'm about to get rich, they know I'm about to get rich. We about to get killed. I'm scout, that's blood. I be cooling niggas off like an AC. 1 minute you're hot, the next minute you're not. Drop the album, nobody copped it. Nobody believed in your game. Without the boss, don't wave. Funny how niggas turn funny style. I just let the money pal. Bitches scream, skeeted on my tummy out. I was in the room seeking closure, smoking on the doja. Crew juice to get me and my dudes loose. Moon rule, seen a nigga head pop out. I need to lay it back out. And I'm out the head back out. OG. Niggas ain't know me, gotta put down, left them stinking. Shouts to my niggas that's Lincoln. Bezzy on the arm like Agua. This nigga's a lame. My life is a song.
What's the deal? It's the Good Old Days Sport Podcast. It's your boy West Philly Hippie. I'm with my dog, Stove World Peace.
What it do?
And we got 5K on the lens. What's the deal? That's Riola.
Yeah,
Check him out on Tidal.
What was that?
Yeah, that's Riola right there. Delaware's on Riola. Check him out.
What's the name of that, Joe?
I mean, give me the track, brother. Give me the track.
Tour Life. Tour Life.
Tour Life. Check him out.
All streaming platforms.
It's not released yet. We gonna release it.
Well, that was unreleased. We got the exclusive.
Yeah, we got the exclusive. Gotta bless the joint with the exclusive. You feel me?
Hey, big dog, what's up, man? How you doing, man? How you been since the last episode?
Oh, man, you already know.
How you been? How life treat you?
We rep it, man. We rep it.
How life treat you? What's going on? Anything good?
Life is good, man. I'm able to smoke. I mean, talk my talk with you, man. Let's go.
So listen, we're gonna jump right in. We gotta start with this. I gotta start with Paul Pierce. I gotta start. So listen, I'm on IG, right? So I thought, you can see what somebody on live at the top of the show. I'm looking. I'm like, why the fuck is Paul Pierce going live? What the fuck is he going? I click on that shit. Paul Pierce was up. He was up, bro. So what you think about ESPN firing him over there? What you think about that?
Like I had a conversation with Five. Like, look, it might be because, ESPN always do they wave of firings and shit. Maybe Paulie had got the little win from a birdie that said he was up out of there. So,
so you think he knew he was getting fired before that? That's why he turned up.
Facts.
That's what you think?
Yeah, I believe that.
Oh,
I believe that because this is a 43-year-old man. You feel me? He know the consequences of doing the social media thing. It's not like that he's like blind to this shit. Like he has adapted to it, and he knew that would possibly get him fired, and he could possibly
it ain't like he hurting for bread,
though.
It ain't like he hurting for bread, man.
It's not. But when you work for somebody and you feel as though you being wrongly fired, and you might want a little payback.
So in 2021, do you think that was fireable though? Do you think they did the right move?
With fire, this is my thing. Like, if you gonna have rap artists and stuff come up there and you're not for that, don't have these same hip hop artists that you want to get your ratings up.
What you mean, for ESPN?
Yeah, ESPN. When they had the little babies come through, the little wing, they come on. That's their element, bro. That's their element, and they come up there and they want their fan base and blah 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 blah. But Uncle Paulie do it. He got the poker game. Come on, man. That's what I like.
Yo, that's going down in history, bro.
I can have me a poker game like that. With the strings.
That's going to go down to Paul Pierce history.
Facts. The wheelchair.
When they look back at his whole career, that's going to be fact.
That might have outdid the wheelchair incident. That might have outdid him getting some fake injury and then coming back out torching and shit. You know what I mean? But Paulie shouldn't have did that, but in his mind frame, I believe maybe that he was like, fuck that.
So you saying you think he already knew he was going to get back?
He's 43 years old, bro. What motherfucker at that age don't know what could happen on social media choices? They do that in the player, like the players union got something for like rookies and players where they go to where they talk about stuff like that. How Look at D'Angelo
Rookie
Russell.
Emporium,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Shit like that.
yeah.
When D'Angelo Russell got Nick Young fucking.
I just watched that the other day
Oh
too.
man, that was crazy, man. So that's what comes.
That was being a child.
Yeah, he was a child
That was-
with a large platform. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And he went crazy, man.
But
That's all.
these kids, they come up, they don't see. We might be the last generation, right, where we know what life was before social media. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
We actually lived life without social media. These kids coming up now, social media is literally all they know.
Yeah.
Social media is like a way of life to some of these
Yeah,
kids.
facts,
You see what I'm saying?
facts. But Paulie,
Paulie.
Paulie,
Shout out
I love
to
to play ball over
Paulie.
there, man. Oh my God, he had it turned up.
No.
Hitting the weed, he
Did
was
you-
hitting that weed. He put that blood shit on too. You see, he put his shit. Oh, I fuck with Paulie. Paulie gonna get a podcast.
Yeah, he gonna get something, yeah.
You know what I mean? And he gonna cash out, and his
For
shit
sure.
gonna be lit. This is the perfect time.
That's
to
for
do
sure,
some
for
shit.
sure.
Facts.
Now, did you see when the bitch called me? The bitch FaceTimed me, right? He was like, yeah, you should have came over and made some money too.
Yeah, it's money here. You should have came and got some money too. Seriously.
Uncle Paulie.
The high rollers, world rap, man. So, you know, Paulie he gonna bounce back. It ain't like it's gonna affect nothing he got going on. But it just fucks me up. Like, if you are against this, then don't have like hip hop artists come up on your shit, on your platform. If you against that, they that's what they get into. You know what
Well,
I mean?
you know, they got picks though. They fans.
Yeah, they got picks.
They got picks.
They got picks, you know what I mean? Paulie gonna bounce back.
Cause if that was somebody else, but if it wasn't Paul Pierce, if it was somebody like higher ranked up in ESPN totem pole, that might have just been a suspension or something. You know what I'm saying?
Possibly.
But being as though he wasn't so high in ESPN totem pole, they had to make something out of it.
ESPN always do mass firings.
Yeah.
Remember Skip Bayless bounced, he didn't get
Jamel
fired.
Hill.
You know, Jamel Hill, come on.
Jamel
What's
Hill.
my man name that was on her show? Michael,
Will Bond?
no, not Will Bob.
Oh, yeah. What's his
Smith.
name?
Michael Smith, I believe his name.
No, they had the show together.
They had the show together, yeah. They
Hold your glasses.
Yeah. He got a show with the other brother and shit. I forgot the name of it, but they do a little podcast.
Yeah,
They
I forgot his
too.
name. I forgot
They
his
join
name.
it too. So you know they always do mass fire.
No, not Jalen the boy. I think him and Jamel, they was on ESPN at
It
6
was
o'clock.
Michael K. Smith or
It
Michael. Something.
might have been Michael Smith. Something like that.
Yeah. But you know, fuck it, Paulie, do your thing, man. Have another poker game for him this
Turn
weekend.
up even more.
Fuck it, and have more. Bring more entertainers. They
Double
weren't
down.
They weren't strippers. They're paid entertainers. They're paid entertainers.
Real rap.
They're not
Real rap.
strippers.
All right, so listen, let's stay with Paul Pierce and let's mix it into the good old days. You know this is the good old days pod.
Facts.
So I want to ask you a question. This is what I've been wanting to ask you this question. I want to ask you about the McDonald's All American. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys said
We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to that.
So on the other side, we was talking about Paul Pierce and how his turn up got him canned. So we was gonna go into the I wanted to ask you about the McDonald's All American. But before we go to that, in the same realm of the Paul Pierce thing, what you think about this whole Deshaun Watson debacle? What you think about that? So if you don't know, break it down if they don't know. What's going on with Deshaun Watson?
Well, he got over 20 allegations.
22 as of right now.
Oh my God, he got 20 allegations of sexual
misconduct.
Sexual misconduct. There you go.
With
masseuses.
With no evidence.
So
With no evidence. And he didn't officially get criminally charged.
He not. That's
These
what
are
I'm saying.
allegations.
If he did a criminal act, or
Right.
these individuals, listen. Much respect to any woman that's violated, any woman that feel like she's been violated. You know what I mean? She has the right to go say, you know what, you out of pocket. You know what I mean?
Here at the Good Old Days Sport Podcast, we're all for women's rights,
all for women's
empowerment. We with all of that.
Real rap. We love the women, especially our sisters.
So I think in 2021, right? So it is allegations and they got to be handled. It just can't be swept under the rug. But I was trying to explain to somebody else, we are in a different era. In 2021, this is a different era. So it's not far-fetched that a lot of these women coerce this. That's what I think personally. I'm not saying it is or it ain't, but I'm not saying that it's out of the book, that it's so far-fetched that it can be coerced.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it is or that it ain't. but we can't just throw that out of the book because we're also in like the high this era that we're in now. It's like people will do anything for clout, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like somebody literally set themselves on fire and jump off a building.
Just for a view.
Just for a view of like the clout, bro. You see what I'm saying?
I've seen a guy jump in quicksand and sink to death for a view.
For a view. So and they chasing the bag. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that it is or it isn't. I'm just saying that it's not far fetched that these chicks is out there trying to
I'll
get
say
bags,
this.
bro.
I'll say this. This is how I feel like. Do you want this man to go to prison for a crime he committed?
It's not even a crime yet. For real.
Darren Sharper was going state to state, raping women, drugging them and raping them. He's in prison right now.
Talk to me.
He ain't coming home no time soon. If it's one of those situations, he deserves to be where he needs to be.
But if it's not, on the other hand, it got to be some repercussions for the females too.
That's another conversation.
That's another conversation.
That's another conversation.
But these females, they come out with all type of allegations, and if it comes to the light that they were lying, it's just that. There's no repercussions on them for the false allegations, bro. You see what I'm saying? I don't like that. So again, I'm not siding saying what is, what isn't. I'm just saying in the era 2021, it's not far fetched that these women
could be some clout, and then who knows, man? It depends on. Are we talking about a civil case where there's money involved?
And before one of the first allegation, right? The woman, she asked for a payout first. She said, "I won't go public with it for a payout," and a couple of them did. And he declined. Like, no, I'm not paying y'all.
Well,
and then
you got cases where a woman violated, and then you got like. Remember Andre Blatch played for the Brooklyn Nets, and he played the Sixers, and then after
I remember that.
He was at a club here in Philly, and then this chick that he had bagged, he went to the hotel with, she came at him like, all right, I want this amount of bread. So he said, I'm not paying you. And she went to the police and said that he raped her. Something crazy.
Like that shit,
and it came back that she was lying.
Right.
You know.
Now, was there any repercussions on her that you can remember?
I don't remember if there was any repercussions.
But the story wasn't as big as the allegation. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
They got to the bottom of that quick. Same thing with the LaSalle thing. Remember Gary Neal and Billy Hine? They had that scandal at LaSalle, and it turned out that the chick that said she was raped was lying. But you got cases where, both look.
All right, so
we'll see once the facts come out.
We'll revisit this topic. We'll probably get this a whole topic.
And he just lost two of his endorsements.
And Nike pulled back from him. Beats, they my Beats. Yeah. I just heard Nike pulled, and he was trying to get out of Houston too. Before all this, let's factor that into. That he wanted out of Houston.
A lot of people are using that as.
The lawyer of the girls, is best friends with the Texas.
Yup. I heard that too. So it's a lot of fishiness in this.
That's why I said everything
no comes out, no paperwork,
no criminal weapons.
That's why I said we'll see if it's a civil case, that's the money grab, or if these ones.
They already asked for the money first. They asked for the money.
This is why, like, guys like that should have contracts already planned. Young men, get y'all some contracts
for sure.
If y'all gonna play that game, you know what I mean. And if you out here ruthless like a Darren Sharper, you need to be in fucking prison. Period. That's where you deserve to go.
All right, so getting back on a lighter subject. We got Dr. Phil.
That one, you fucked me up. You fucked me up with that one.
I wanted to see what you're doing about that. So listen, fucking McDonald's All American.
Yeah.
I know you're a big fan of McDonald's All American. Paul Pierce was the McDonald's All American.
In the best class of the McDonald's All American.
So what do you think?
1995.
So let me ask you a question first. What do you think the best class and the best years of the McDonald's All American?
Of my favorites are boom. I say 95. 95 was lit. Like you had KG. You know, he was like what? Oh my God, KG was the truth.
He was him.
And then you had Steph. Marbury was a prodigy, bro.
Oh wait. What? You said KG and Marbury.
Yeah.
Oh, what I need you to do for these young kids right here. And then I want you to pull up the KG and Styles P commercial.
Oh yeah, I got it.
That was my favorite jump, bro. I'm about to tell you. Sorry, so you say KG KG and Marbury.
KG Marbury, Vince Carter was on that team. Robert Trailer was on that team. Antoine Jameson was on that team. Chauncey Billups was on the team, but he got hurt, so he wasn't playing. But it was a lot of people.
This is the year before Kobe, right?
Yeah, this is the year before Kobe Bryant. But 95 was like the greatest of them, because you look at the names that that was like a lit McDonald's All-American game. Garnett was the MVP. Like, come on, 6'11", he was like 210 pounds.
Garnett was
a face-up game then, like, you know what I mean?
Garnett was bored.
Garnett was my man. And my man, Rolly, Locust Street General be hating on KG. Stop hating. KG was never, because he a LeBron boy, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. But, yeah, KG, 95 McDonald's game. The 96 game was alright. It was some notable names.
Who was in the 96 game?
Kobe Bryant, Mike Bibby, Rick Hamilton, Steven
Stack 5, right?
Yeah, Stack 5 was on that team.
Is Stack 5 win MVP?
No, he didn't win MVP. Shaheen Holloway played at St. Patrick's and went to Seton Hall.
See, that's why he go. I know he the time out. Hold up. This nigga know who won the MVP of the 1985 McDonald's All-American without Googling anything.
Those are the ones I remember. I ain't going to tip my shit.
That's why he different, bro.
I watched the game. I watched that game. And it was in Pittsburgh.
See?
It was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The game. Like, you know what I mean?
Bro, he knew where the game was.
95 was in St. Louis. You know what I mean? But look,
I had to Google that.
Where was 94?
94. Oh, that was at St. John's. That was Felipe Lopez. That's Felipe Lopez. Ray LaFrance was on that team too.
This nigga different, right?
Ricky. I don't know. Ricky what? Well, he went to Duke. Damn. What's that nigga name? Ricky Price. Ricky Price. Trajan Langdon was there too.
Hold on. Hold up, Big Dog. So you said 95 was your favorite, right at there is 96.
Yeah. 96 wasn't my favorite. I just gave you the name. All right, then 2003. LeBron, Cleveland.
Okay, so 95 was your favorite.
Number one, hands down, 95.
We're gonna say 96. Your next year was an honorable mention.
That's an honorable mention, just because the GOAT was on one of the GOATs.
You said it right, nigga.
One of the GOATs.
You said it right.
I'm high.
Blame it on the tweet.
I'm lit. We on that rhythm right now.
We on that rhythm.
We got that good.
Give me that.
We on.
He said we on that rhythm.
Yeah.
All right, so your second favorite McDonald's All-American game was what year?
2003 with Brian and Chris Paul, Travis Outlaw, Mustafa Shakur. Shout out to Mustafa. That's a Philly legend, man.
Yeah, definitely a Philly legend.
Facts. And who else was on? Chris Paul was on that team. Big Perk was on that team.
Big Perk.
Yeah, Chris Humphries.
I fuck with Perk.
Perk crazy, man. I fuck with Perk. Perk that nigga.
No, he cut from one of the real ones.
Yeah, he is. And the last two, I'm going to give you the 06 one. That was when Durant won MVP. They shared it with Chase Buninger. That was lit. Wayne Ellington, Ty Lawson,
shout out Wayne.
Gerald Henderson was in that game.
Wayne Ellington Philly legend?
Yeah. Wayne's a Philly legend. Facts. He's definitely a Philly legend. But and I'll say 07. Michael Beasley won the MVP, but they had Derrick Rose, OJ Mayo.
Oh yeah, that joint was lit.
Kevin Love. Beasley was in that game. Corey Stokes. It was
OJ Mayo.
Yeah, OJ Mayo, bro. They did. OJ Mayo. OJ was nice, but he was supposed to be like that. The prodigy. You feel me? But he was the man in high school and college that one year. But those are my favorite.
So you said 95?
95 number 1, 03 number 2. 07 number 3, and I'll go number 4, 06.
All right, give me 4 of your favorite moments. Not for any particular year, but just 4 of your favorite moments.
When LeBron did the reverse in 03, he did the reverse. Kevin Garnett did a dunk right after Vince Carter did a crazy dunk, but he came through off of an oop, I think. He caught it from somewhere half court and caught that shit and whammed it and shit. And what else, man? What else? I mean, the whole game with Durant and Greg Oden was on that team too. And Mike Conley. Yeah, Greg Oden, if he didn't get hurt, his legs didn't fuck up.
He was hurt from the jump.
Yeah, he broke his hand.
He was hurt from
and remember,
the jump.
and shoot free throws left-handed and shit. So Durant was going crazy in that game. That was a crazy game. But yeah, those were my favorite McDonald's games, bro. Those were ill. And one more. Rasheed Wallace, that Philly legend, he might have been the only player to ever foul out in a McDonald's All-American game. He fouled out of a McDonald's game. I got the footage. I got you. Sheed is a real one. He was that, you know how he ball on line. He was like 93. And he was like that in high school, bro. Like he from a youth, you know what I mean? Stack and Sheed was my shit too. I love Stack and Sheed. But yeah, those were my favorite McDonald's games, man.
So listen, I know how you feel about. Gotta ask you this question.
Yes.
Matter of fact, tell them how you mad. So
I want everybody to give me a comment. Click like and subscribe to this too. First and foremost. And leave me some comments because this is for like old heads and this is for also like the younger generation because this tie into everything. You know what I mean? This is the gap. This is where today's situation is at.
So listen, this topic right here, right? This changed the NBA, the face of the NBA for forever. This really changed the way of the league. I gotta get your take on this. What's your thoughts on the Miami Heat, the Big Three, and the Celtics rivalry?
Well,
what's your thoughts on that?
A lot of people say like Paul Pierce is a hater. You understand that? LeBron. Okay, this is LeBron coming in. He was anointed the king.
Oh, so what we talking about?
We talking about LeBron. How this ties everything.
So we talking about the Celtics,
and the Heat, right? All right. So this is how we're gonna do this. Let's go and break it down. So
break it down.
LeBron, since he came in the league, Paul Pierce been on his ass. He did, they got their little thing. Every great player had a thing with somebody. Paul Pierce is LeBron nemesis for years. So boom.
Put some respect on Paul Pierce.
Got to. Paulie put in work.
He was a ball.
I hate the Celtics, but Paulie put in work. He put in work.
My fault.
So boom, you got the trade coming up. I think it's the 07 draft. You got the Kevin Durant and Grego and boom. So Kevin Garnett, he spends 12 seasons in Minnesota. And he spent 12 seasons. And people can say what they want, but his last team on Minnesota, he's playing with Ricky Davis, Randy Foye. No disrespect to those guys, because those guys was good, but they weren't good enough to compete in the West.
Especially at that time in the West.
And Kevin Garnett years were wasting in Minnesota. So Kevin McHale said, while you're still in your prime, I'm going to trade you to a contender. Kevin McHale already had draft picks lined up, and he had high draft picks, so he was hoping to turn those into, star players. So boom. Garnett and Pierce, they played on the McDonald's game in '95 with each other. They got a good rapport with each other. Boom. He got the call. KG got the call, and he didn't want to go originally. Originally, he said Tyronn Lue and Chauncey Billups talked to him into going to Boston.
Who did he want to go?
He wanted to go to LA.
All right.
But he also said, cold, man. All right, whatever. But however,
moving right along.
He went to Boston, got traded, and then they used the draft picks that got Jeff Green and somebody else, I think, and that turned into Ray Allen. So boom, they dominated.
And he said he wanted to keep the African kid Rondo.
Facts.
He said keep the African kid Rondo.
So there you got Brian, who's just coming off of going to the NBA Finals.
So is it safe to say that the Celtics was the first Big Three?
But they weren't the Big Three formed in their prime.
But were they a Big Three?
They were a Big Three. But there was other Big Threes. You had Drexler, Berkeley, Elijah Wan. That was a Big Three. You had
in this
Tim Hardaway, Mitch Richmond, Chris Mullin. It was Big Threes back in this
era. Was this the original Big Three in this era?
Of course they're going to say that because they were a lottery team the year before.
Continue, my fault.
But they were all in their 30s at the top of the cliff because that matters.
But they wasn't over.
That matters. That matters. You're going to waste away a Hall of Famer. You're going to waste him away.
You're
going to waste him away. But they downhill afterwards.
But they had the experience and their skills wasn't diminished. So that's arguably they had the top. They had the best.
But every season that passes, they're downhill. It's a downhill climb. You're not going up the mountain. You're rolling.
But they were rolling down the mountain. When they got together, they were at the top.
All right, so they formed the big three. All right, and Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Rondo, you know what I mean? Big Perk was out there, Big Glenn, Big Baby Davis. They had a great team. They finished first. LeBron again just was removed from going to the finals and losing to the Spurs. Right. And then he got to deal with this. So it was on his ass. Now granted, Brian did get those guys to be a number 1 seed. They lost to Orlando in the Eastern Finals. Even though Orlando had a great team, Cleveland should have won that series. They were a number 1 seed. They won all those games, but they lost. Mo Williams didn't show up, and Antoine Jameson, all them other guys, they didn't show up. So boom, LeBron. The last remember it was 2010, I believe, when he lost to the Celtics and he took that jersey off. He took that jersey off. He said, "I'm out of here." He knew that. He called Wade because he couldn't take it. And Paul Pierce, I'm quite sure, is breathing down his neck. He like, "Yo, I need to win this ring. I need to get this championship." Wade willingly gonna say, "Come on down. Price is right, nigga. Come on down." So then you able to get Chris Bosh, because originally it was supposed to be Melo. I'm glad. Imagine if that would have happened instead. If Melo didn't sign that deal the year before, and he would have been a free agent with all of them, that would have been Melo, Brian, and Wade. That would have been crazy. So they team up. Now that he Bosh held his own. Bosh held his own. He was a solid third option, and he was a man in Toronto. So he dumped this game down for the benefit of the team. So boom, you got he was beating the Celtics year after year, and then you got Ray Allen going to just jump ship. And then that was afterwards, but it was about 2 years, 3 years they was going through it, and then Ray Allen just bounced that brand, and he said he didn't get a contract offer, but they had to take care of the other younger guys and shit. And
so still talk about the beef when they first started. Go back to that.
Well, it's KG, it's Paul Pierce. Now they was probably grinding Brian up, and he couldn't take it. So that's when he joined the super team. That's when the NBA changed the landscape of the league. Everything. The players got the fucking the control of the league. All the top players. The Kawhi Leonard getting Paul George to come to the Clippers with him. A player orchestrating the trade. That tells you
that didn't happen before.
No, it didn't.
It's the norm today.
They had buyouts back in the day like that. So
in today's NBA, that's the norm.
Yeah, it is. That's the norm. That's the norm. And then you got social media and all that. So everybody is friendly and shit. But this is what I was saying to somebody. Since Garnett left and Paul Pierce left, the game has not been as ferocious. It's not having been feisty since they left. They made their business. You could call them hating old heads, whatever you want. They made you work for it just like they had to work for it. Think about all the years Garnett was on them Timberwolves team. He was Marbury. Marbury should have stayed, but they had, he wanted the money that he got.
He did that interview with Kevin McHale, and he was crying. Yeah, he was KG. That's how passionate he was.
Yeah, that shit hurt, man. You going that? Look at the players he was going at. Weber, Dirk, Rashid, Karl Malone, fucking Shaq. Come on, man.
Night out basis.
KG is a fucking legend, bro. He one of the illest. For sure. Before Anthony Davis, that's what Garnett was, man. Garnett was, he just was an animal.
So what attitude was on going? So what happened that first year they got together?
So they won a chip. They beat the Lakers. They beat y'all. Boston Lakers rivalry was.
So the first year. They won the chip that first year.
They won the chip.
Who did they beat?
They beat the Lakers.
Eastern Conference.
Who did they beat? I want to say it was Detroit. I think it was Detroit, the Pistons. If it wasn't the Pistons, it was the Hawks. I believe it was the Pistons, though. They beat them, and then they won the chip. But then what happened the next year? KG got hurt.
So KG
got hurt the next year.
So next year, what happened next year? Is that the year Brown with the
that was the I think 2010. That was 2010. I think. Was it 2010? No, 2009, I believe, is when
we won 2009.
Yeah, y'all won, and y'all beat. Who did y'all beat? Boston. Y'all beat Boston, and then 2010 y'all beat Orlando. 2011. 2011, I believe. Who won the 2011 finals? Shit. I believe, was it Dallas? Did Dallas beat Miami that year? Yeah. Dallas beat Miami and shit.
That's when JT went crazy.
Yeah, that's when JT did Sean Marion. Salute to Sean Marion too.
Yo, listen. Let me say, Jason Terry got the fucking finals tattoo.
He did that before the season started. He did that before the season started.
So Bron first year in Miami. What happened that year?
He lost. They lost to the.
So they didn't win the first.
Nah, remember he was going like 0 points in the fourth quarter and shit like and then they were salty. You know what I mean? So then the next year.
Oh, so before you go to the next, so that first year, the first year when they got together, they were deemed as the villains. This was the first year of LeBron in his career. He was actually deemed a villain.
Facts.
And they were actually buying into it. They used that energy to go through that season.
And then Dwayne Wade also took a step back. He said, "This
I'm
is your team."
gonna get them.
Okay, go back.
So that first season, they were actually deemed the villains. They fed into it and they went through that whole season as the villains of the NBA that year. So like you said, when they got to the finals, they got the ass kicked.
Dirk wanted it more. Those guys wanted it.
JT Smith.
They couldn't do nothing with Dirk.
What happened after Dallas won?
That was what the club lived. You feel me?
They jumped on the
No, they was there. They was there in Miami. So they went right down the street to live
with the trophy.
And Mark Cuban bought every fucking bottle of Ace of Spades.
He bought the big bottle, the big jaw, the 6
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it when you win a chip. So that next year, that first year,
the Heat playing OKC. They playing Durant and Russell the next year.
I'm gonna get to that. So the second year. That's when they got together. They was like, okay, this us being the villain, that energy is not working for us. That's not who LeBron is. Certain people can thrive off that villain.
Facts.
You know my man
Jordan, Kobe.
saying certain people thrive off that energy. LeBron wasn't one of them. So the first thing they did, like you said, Dwayne Wade went right to LeBron. Like, yo, listen, it ain't gonna work like this. This is your team. You gotta take. So Wade took a step back. And let LeBron.
That's honorable too. He did that. I mean, for a man that's been alpha dog on the team, he could take a step back. That's
everybody can't do that.
Yeah, everybody can't.
So what happened that season?
They played OKC.
Second season they
ran through the East, and then they played Derrick Rose. I think they did that.
Yeah, they gave him work too.
Chicago. That was another rivalry. Chicago versus the Heat. That was a rivalry. So
that was a good joint.
Yeah.
That whole Eastern Conference was like good then. That whole Eastern, right about that time.
That was a good Eastern Conference.
That was a good Eastern Conference.
It was solid. But
all right, so that second year, what happened?
The second year they met up with OKC, Durant and Russell and James Harden. They were young. Harden, in my opinion, he cost them the finals because he didn't show up in that part. But he was young. He was young.
They were all young.
They were all young. That was a learning.
And they said, I think Wade said, they actually used that against them.
Yeah.
They said they went in that knowing they were going to win because they know they had more experience.
Yeah, the experience, you feel me? These guys were just the pups, but they were the next great thing. Ain't that crazy? OKC had great MVPs.
Right.
If James Harden stayed instead of Ibaka, he wouldn't be James Harden now. He wouldn't.
Bro, don't quote me on this. I'm not sure, but I'm kind of sure, but I'm not. Mm-hmm. They said the difference was with them keeping and letting James Harden go was only $2 million. Not added on to the contract, just actually $2 million. They didn't want to give him.
They didn't want
$2 million.
They thought Ibaka upside was a little stronger, and they thought they could recoup something back.
What's their GM name? Sam Presti, right?
Yeah, Sam Presti. He one of the best GMs in the game.
Yeah, he built that. Huh?
He redeemed himself.
Yeah, he did.
He redeemed himself. He did.
All right, so
but pretty much what I was saying is that's where you got all the players having control of the league now. And,
So what did that open the door for? Okay.
Paul George going to the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard. That was orchestrated. Anthony Davis talking his way out.
That was tangible.
Magic Johnson got fined for fucking with Ben Simmons. My man was on the barbershop talking about I'm ready to leave and play with Brian. I was like, oh shit.
He said that on the show.
Yeah. But that's where the game is. But and that's why it's like rivalry. So we're gonna wrap.
Wait, hold on, wrap that up. You didn't hold up.
Hold up. Okay.
We can't wrap it up yet.
Okay.
We didn't even. That opened up the door for actually Durant.
Yeah, for Durant going to Golden State. I wanted to touch on that another time, but LeBron move going to Miami opened the door for Durant to go to Golden State.
And the West Philly MVP, my man Big Joe, my man. What is your thoughts? I never asked you this question. What is your thoughts on Durant going to OKC?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it because he didn't need to go to the team that won 73-9 or 72. Whatever the record was, they won 70+ games, and you just had this team down 3-1, and y'all lost 3 straight.
Not to mention he fooled.
Yeah. Right. Listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I understand it's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that we don't know about. He probably felt that I can't win a ring with Russ. Maybe he felt like that. Maybe they got, them guys, Draymond and all them. They called him and was in his ear like, come get your ring.
What they called them? They had a name for them too.
I forgot.
What the fuck is their name? The Hampton 5 or something?
The Hampton 5. Oh shit.
So,
because they be doing these little parties and gatherings at the Hamptons and shit.
So are you saying, was it the Celtics move getting together or Brian going to Miami? Which one of them changed the course of Miami?
Because he chose to go to Miami. He chose.
Even though he went to Miami because of Boston?
Yeah, he chose. He chose to go there. He could have went anywhere else. I would have respected it if he went to the Spurs.
Right.
He said.
All right. So listen, what I need y'all to do with that particular that
comment on that. What y'all think about that?
Engage with it.
What y'all think about that? What started the change, the shift of where the NBA is at today?
So listen, I'm gonna get right into it, Drake. What the fuck is going on with the Eagles?
Howie Roseman.
What the fuck is going on? Bring it down.
Fuck this draft up, man. So they at number 6. At number 6, right? You know how hard it is to fuck up drafting a gem at number 6. So these guys think is they want to get more assets. I hate when people that don't know what to do with the asset. They always screaming assets. So he decides to trade back. Maybe he feel because this is going to be a quarterback heavy draft. They saying that the top 4 picks is going to be all quarterbacks. So he must see that a player that he wanted at 6 might fall to him at 12. But I know these guys. I know when they drafted Derek Barnett, you feel me? Because they drafted him on his upside. I don't want nobody that Howie Roseman think has upside. I don't want no more upside, nigga. I want a motherfucker that's going to be a stout bull. You feel me? We ain't had a stud, bro. Come on, man. You could have had Jamar Chase, who I believe is going to be the best receiver in this draft, hands down. People like Devontae Smith went to LSU. Okay. He played with Joe Burrow, and they won the national championship. He sat out this season due to COVID. He didn't want to play, so he sat out. And I feel as though we could have got a premium player, a motherfucker that's going to be an impact motherfucker for us. Michael Parsons from Penn State. So look at Michael Parsons. He show love. You know what I mean? Fucking Penn State is my team, and we never had a linebacker of this caliber. He might be a Patrick Willis of this draft. But maybe he might be there at 12. There's people saying that he might slide down. If he's there, and the Eagles got extra draft picks just to get the player that they want and to recoup assets, I'm cool with that. Just do something with the assets. That's all. Stop picking motherfuckers that's no disrespect to Sidney Jones. He did his thing. He did his thing this year in Jacksonville. He was healthy. He had a great year this year, but they drafted him based on his upside. Right. He got hurt in his pro day camp. Now here's the crazy thing about Sidney Jones' pro day. He finished his pro day. But then one of the scouts asked him to run some drills one more time.
After it was over?
After it was over.
Oh, shit.
He did it and tore his fucking ACL.
Are you serious?
Yes, that was fucked up.
Get the fuck out of here.
He slid to the second round. The Eagles drafted him. And salute to my man Pluggy Simmons, too. Me and him went to the draft that year, too. We went to the second round of the draft. Yeah, that was lit. So I watched Sidney Jones get drafted, and we drafted him over niggas like Alvin Kamara. Come on, man. That's what I mean about our team.
That's your DNA,
they always look for the upside, bro. Come on, we ain't hit a number 1 pick in a minute.
The upside is gonna be your day.
Yeah, it is. The upside. No more upside. Get me a motherfucker that can ball, please. And if you gonna pick them, go to SEC route or Big Ten route, please. We need to know.
All right, so you the GM. How should they play this out?
I mean, now that we at 12, it look like we're gonna draft out if it's a quarterback available, J.C. Horn from South Carolina. But here's the problem. The Cowboys draft at number 10 and the Giants draft at 11. So you move spots back in front and behind your rivals. What if they draft somebody you really looking at? They got Kyle Pitts going to Dallas now. They talking about Jerry Jones trading up. He from Philly, the Florida tight end, and they saying he might be like on some Megatron shit. And he was a problem this year at Florida. He was beasting, but yo, like, you don't want your fucking competition to get better. Why you playing? And I know what they're going to do. They're going to draft an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman. And they're going to say we draft them because of their upside. I should go upside down. Oh, my God. Oh, God. So the draft is coming up. Hopefully the Eagles get some players back. And hopefully they get some receivers and shit, some weapons for Jalen Hurts. I believe he's going to do his thing this year, man.
You fucking with Jalen?
I'm a rock with Jalen. I'm rocking with Jalen. I'm rocking with Jalen.
What y'all think y'all going to do this year?
7-9, 8-8, bro.
That's all you shooting for?
Listen, in the NFC East, that'll get you in. That'll get you in. 7 wins, 5 or 6 did it this year. Don't worry.
That's all you need to do. Get in, bro.
Yeah. So we gonna see, man. Salute to the fucking draftees of this year. You know what I mean? It's going. Listen, a lot of y'all lives gonna be changed. Hopefully, none of my team, the Cowboys. I hope y'all don't get better. The Giants. I ain't really a hater of the Giants because we got common ground on the Cowboys. Right. It's still fuck y'all, but it ain't fuck y'all. You feel me?
It ain't like
it ain't like that. Yeah, it ain't like that. It ain't like Dallas. So we got a common enemy. So I hope we get a good player and a solid pick, and I hope we ace on these draft picks, man. But yeah, that's about it.
That was good shit.
That was a good show. That was a good show. You know what I mean?
Bring us on home.
Hey man, look, man. Click, like, and subscribe to my channel. You know what I mean? We here, man. We got the merch. We got the merch right here. You know, Good Old Days Sport merch. We got that merch right here. We on deck with it. You know what I mean? We got it.
What's your Instagram look like? What it look like?
At West Philly Hippie.
What's on it? If I look at what's on it?
Listen, go to at West Philly Hippie, or you can go to my new page, the Good Old Days Sport page.
Okay.
We got the Good Old Days. We're gonna have that merch up there tomorrow. We're gonna have that merch up there tomorrow. We got t-shirts. We got hoodies. You know what I mean? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. What my man say? What my OG say? We got to say his name. Oh, you got the coordinate. You got the coordinate. Oh God, let's go, man. If you supporting, man, just click like and subscribe.
When they go to your Instagram page, what they gonna see on it?
Oh yeah, they gonna see motherfucking clips. They gonna see all that good shit. You know what I mean? Listen, from the past and the present, nigga, we got the greatest boxing highlights. The basketball highlights, the football highlights, the baseball highlights. We got it all, man. We got it all. The Good Old Days Sport page, the merch. You gonna see all that good shit up there. Put your orders in. You feel me? Hoodies and t-shirts. Give me a round. We around, man. It's the Good Old Days Sport Podcast. Still world peace in the building. We got 5K on the lens. This is the way shooting shit. Until the next episode, we out.
Until the next episode.
Let's go. We out.